But the violence just descends out of nowhere. Did it come as a terrible shock to you?
It did. I was walking home from the same bar I go to all the time, and it came from the left, punched me out of nowhere. Luckily, I managed to kind of find my feet and got a swing back.
Really?
I did, yeah. But after being on the night out, you know, it kept coming, and so I fell to the floor. I think for me as well, had there been an approach of give me the watch, you know, I would have rather just taken it off and given it to him. But there wasn't that. So the whole time that this is going on, I'm confused and dazed as to why. And it wasn't till the very end where I was on the floor that he grabbed my wrist and swiped it off.
This is in central London, where there are CCTV cameras virtually on every lamppost. Are you surprised the police really have no idea about this?
Well, I actually have to say the police in my case have been very good. They were there in 10 minutes of me of calling them. I've had 3 follow-up phone conversations. They called me on Friday to see how I was doing and how I was healing and give me an update on everything. It is difficult in a sense of trying to find these perpetrators that do this. I've been told that once a crime like this has been committed in a certain area, that then person is then moved to a different area to avoid being detected or kind of seen again.
So the guys who attacked you will have been moved to Euston or Lambeth or whatever?
Potentially, to avoid the same thing happening again in the same area, or potentially being recognised in the same area by the people that they've done this to.
If they know that, then they think that it's not just a random attack on you for your watch. It's part of a citywide organisation.
Absolutely. I think, you know, the bigger conversation here is, you know, why are people having to resort to this extreme violence for a watch? And I think, you know, with inflation hitting 18% by the end of the year, the energy cap having to have going up by 80%, I think there's not one avenue to tackle this. There's 15 different avenues, and I think people have to start looking at the cost of living and the fact that people are struggling, and violence is never the answer. But there is bigger questions to be answered for.
Well, if it is tied to the cost of living, and as we came in with these predictions of £7,700 electric bills for the new year, if you're correct, that means there's going to be a lot more violence on the street, and I don't know where you're going to have to go. You can go to the most expensive street in Mayfair, and it's going to you can be strolling past all the big car dealerships in Berkeley Square, and you can be strolling past the Ritz, and this is going to happen.